It's all good. Oh, shoot.
Totally fine. I've been out running errands all morning and then I saw, I was like, oh, it's in person
Right.
now. But so sorry.
You
We
heard
like
understand. We
beautiful
understand.
queen.
How are you? How are you
Good.
doing?
Good. How are you? I know you're busy.
I mean, well, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
So nice. This is nice. You got this.
Yeah. So we talked about it last time we had our graduation. We had it here, but the concern was, space and so on and so forth. Again, even with 501, we were thinking about even doing it there, but again, the wind had knocked out these different.
Oh.
Yeah, so they had fallen in that one room, so we were like, yeah, we need to have it somewhere where it's a little things that put together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know you guys have this too.
Yeah, and it's a gift and a curse because it's like, it's all rented, right?
Right.
So it's like we're everywhere, but I mean,
Right.
are we,
Where's the equity?
Yeah,
That's what you guys do. But I love that play, not the play, but the move that I'm still not sure what organization is behind it, but they brought the Bank of America building on Third Street.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they posted about this like sometime last year. And they had the artist, do the mural on the outside.
Right.
However, I don't know if it's Wall Street or whoever, but they actually purchased the property of that building, to my understanding.
Right.
And I was like, that's the type of move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because years ago I was thinking about this, like, because when my son was like, really, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. Whatever.
No,
I didn't mean it. So my son was really active in sports and stuff, and so he played with the Bombers and the Rebels and Coach Nate, and he has like a big following with all the kids in the basketball,
Right.
and he's been kind of like displaced from building to building. This was years ago.
Okay.
And I was just like, that sucks that it can't be a move made to where like on the back of Third and even like the back of Geneva, all those warehouses and kind of have his own space, kind of like, 'cause we always have to go to Oakland to this indoor sports complex to play. And I believe that's Blackstone too, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, that's the type of stuff we got,
You have to be right. You're exactly right.
I mean, I know it takes a lot, to buy in.
Yeah.
However, like that's the type of stuff that, hopefully, Black businesses can get assistance with, the equity, the back office, accounting, booking, marketing, stuff like that to like really make our businesses, successful
Right.
versus just, getting month by month,
Right.
getting by.
Yeah.
So
That's so true. You're right on
yeah,
point.
it's like all, off of all of the streets, off of like innings and stuff, like all them. I literally just found out that the Highland place is back there.
Oh, you did?
What's it? Not Showboat. What's the other one? It's a big Highland brand, and they're, I guess, headquarters. I don't think it's it could be a warehouse, but I don't think it's where they manufacture the Highlands. Evergood Highlands is right there. What is that? Innings is all the way over. They have like a big warehouse back there, off the Third, like way in the back.
Right.
But yeah. But nevertheless, this is nice.
Yeah, and that's it's fun too because we're always at 1715, and even 1715, they've been working on that one. They recently did another, I want to say like went around with paintings and pictures and stuff like that recently, and it looks really nice inside of there. Yeah, so even when it's the same space, we can make it look much better if we just have the time and put the resources into it. But yeah, this type of building, I remember when I first came here for the first time, I was like, okay, a YCD.
Right.
Like, I didn't know that we were, we had these types of spaces because, some spaces it's like, okay, yeah, we can meet there, but it's like, if we really need to have like an important meeting, like, how do we, what type of space can we invite people to where we feel more proud about the space that we're in, yeah.
Well, all of it is a wow to me because the YCD that I remember from the early 90s when I got my first job was that little space right there on the third across from what is now McDonald's, it used to be TikTok or something. So like the buildings
Is that
that you
when they
guys,
called it Chocolate City?
you said what?
Was that when they were called it Chocolate City?
Was it
Chocolate
Chocolate
City?
City? We called it YCD.
Because what, I think they went for Chocolate City.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I was born in 79, I got my first job at 15, 89, so this is like in the early 90s, like 91, 92,
Yeah, I
93.
think it was a while, about the 80s.
Okay,
Chocolate City.
oh, okay,
Summer youth hiring program that they spearheaded
Mhm.
down in Washington.
Mhm.
That's when they had the 12, 15, then they had the warehouse up the street. A little
Okay,
bit up the street from, I think they let that one go now, but they used to have a warehouse.
okay, yeah, I remember going turning my time sheets and stuff.
Right.
And then I kind of like started working at the Nave, so I was in Potrero Hill with Joyce a lot.
I like
But
those boots.
They
Rain
used
boots?
my first pair in life, rain boots.
Okay.
Got them at Ross on sale.
What?
And I was just like, those Crocs I wear, like my feet get wet and so I was like,
They
"Why
look
is it rain
comfortable.
boots?" They are actually, they're very comfortable. My first pair ever in life. But yeah, how's everything going with you?
Pushing,
Like you,
pushing through, a lot of good people that,
Yeah.
I learned how to set up a social enterprise, nonprofit with a for-profit, I did a nonprofit.
Okay, so the reverse, because I keep hearing people tell me to kind of go nonprofit. So the primary is a 4 and then under.
What primary is the nonprofit.
So, okay, you're the
With
reverse.
for-profit or under,
Okay.
like a service knowledge, I'm taking to a nonprofit.
Right,
And I
okay.
set up a social enterprise where we keep most of our money and have the money coming in, run the nonprofit.
Gotcha. Okay, nice.
I've been doing that and been designing a lot, but now my health is getting back better, because I was injured real bad.
City,
And I couldn't do the upholstery, heavy work.
yeah.
But now I'm going back into it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so-
Good. So you're 100% now?
About 80.
Okay.
And I have my bad days on cold weather days. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
everything. I be like Joe Montana. When he took that hit, he said, when they say Joe, what hurt? He said, everything.
Everything.
All of it hurt.
All of it. Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you're doing better. So what are you doing after this now that you've completed? What is this, cohort 3 or
Cohort 2.
2?
Yeah. So, evaluate, and then again, prepare for the third one.
Next,
Yeah,
okay.
prepare for the third one. Definitely, talking and considering stuff that we talked about when we were together. Because I know that those are real questions, I would say, if you will, in some respect, there's different, if you will, competitors, you know what I mean, and have to consider like, okay, this is what's kind of out there. And we have to, acknowledge, that like there are people who do have and money for incentives and money for these types of things. So it's like, okay, gotta see what's out there. And, but the biggest thing is for the first cohort of the next fiscal year, which will be after July.
Mm-hmm.
So once July comes, we'll have the new budget for the year. And so that way we can go, okay, let's see how we can literally we change the budget up and see where money can go. If it doesn't go to that place, if it does go to that, how can we move it around? But at the end of the day, for this next cohort, it'll be working within the same budget that we have right now and just kind of like working with what we have left. And so it'll have to be similar to what we're doing currently. But after that, then we can see, okay, I think we can, put a bunch over here, less over there, find ways to, make it work like that.
Yeah, we all gotta pivot,
Right.
and do what we need to do.
Mhm.
But even for me, my business will be free in April. And it's like, it's the small things that businesses need. Like, I literally don't have a headshot. Like, out of all the things I do, all the pictures I have, videos I have, I forget what the place was. It was like, can you send me a headshot? I had a photo shoot last year, but I didn't get like a, headshot.
Right.
Headshots for businesses, like, assistance with like QuickBooks, costs and or accountant. I still gotta find one. Do you guys know we got extended? Well, I heard personally, because we're in a disaster area with the floods that happened in January and today, they gave us an extra 30 days to file our taxes, which is like now May 15th versus April 15th. But someone else was saying, NPR was saying that we have even longer. I'm saying all that to say, I gotta find an accountant on my taxes. That's what I heard. So a nurse, she was like, I heard September, October, her NPR. I was like, well, I heard May. I hope it is longer because I want to get a professional to actually do my taxes this year. Because I've been doing it myself because I'm a one member LLC, so I have to follow it under my personal anyway. And then this has been taking the law, so I was like, I'll just do it myself. But now, like, because we've taken in a couple of grants, I mean, we're probably still in the red, but I just want to make sure everything is properly documented and, accounted for. So I'm just like, and some of these people, I mean, I know it's all business and everybody have their prices, but I'm just like, how much?
Oh, yeah. No, taxes is a whole business.
Yeah,
people be getting a lot of money for doing that.
She wanted $300 a month just to keep my books reconciled. And I'm like, I keep them reconciled. Like, I'm scanning all the receipts and da-da-da-da.
Right. And it's amazing you said that because I talked with one of them. I'm like, wait a minute, I got all this in order. I'll do that. This all right.
I did do it. I did do it.
What do you mean you want to do it?
It's crazy.
It's very good.
I made it real easy. I'm like, well, leave the scramble and let you fry eggs.
Right. Right. I'm like,
that's real.
you're just making sure that I'm assigning everything to the right bucket, which I'm doing, but yeah, I mean, in this business, that's their field, but sometimes I just feel like sometimes like with a lot of the programs, like some direction or education with it, and I've seen that as of late they've been doing that because Mainstream Launch just recently held a financial 101 type class out in Stockton, and we had the opportunity to get on via Zoom, and they had an accountant telling us do's and don'ts, and yada yada yada, or whatever. So like, yeah, but that's like last quarter. We're a month or two out from taxes, so. But yeah.
Wow.
But no, to that point, like things are just from my personal, like being in it. I'm still brand new, still wet behind the ears and all of that. I'm just like, if I knew a lot of those things or had those things in place from the beginning, I think like, it would have been a little smoother. Not, I mean, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I brought this up last time. We had a training that both Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey had mentioned it. Like Kevin Hart in particular. Steve Harvey had a different situation, but Kevin Hart said, he looked at it like that's just like the tax that everybody has to pay, just getting things off the ground because there's no way that we're going to be prepared for the tax situation. Now, of course, he's talking about, making money with comedy, so, those are like larger checks, like at once. But, of course, the first inclination is we got money, so let's go, I got this car, I'm pulling up, dressed like this. And then they're like, okay, well, about half of that,
Right.
you gotta, and he's like, well, one, he didn't know, but then two is because money still's coming in, so okay, let me just take some of that, put that there. But next time I know, as the money comes in and just start separating it all, just splitting down the middle. This is Uncle Sam's, this is what we have left, versus, oh man, we can spend it all.
Right.
But yeah, it's a real thing to have to try to figure that out, especially because unless you have an accountant around, nobody's going to tell you that. Everybody's going to be like, oh, that's a dope check. Like, what are you going to do with it? They don't go, okay, take half of that, just stop whatever, give me the check. Let's put it over here. You keep that. Because this right here is not even yours yet. You got to wait.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody really knows that, much less you know, even if they do, having the discipline. You know, say, dude, I want to spend it. Let me just take a look. I'll put it back, I promise. Like, no, you didn't put it back. You said just don't put it back.
Right. Totally.
That's how I know three people in the hip hop community, like they were friends with it, and that's how a lot of them get in trouble. So the big checks come and they forget about the tax part of it.
Right,
And
right.
they're spending that money
Mhm.
and getting by a little bit, and 2 or 3 years go by, now
Right.
that's at your door. Now.
Right.
And now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
then
But
I put you in jail and all this.
all that.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's what I'm like, right, you got to discipline yourself.
Yeah.
Spank that spending.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. And I've been seeing this thing go around about like how to disperse. Like, let's say your business takes in 10,000, and they tell you, okay, 30% pay yourself, 15% put in a separate bank account for taxes,
Mhm.
5 or 10% marketing, the rest goes back into the business savings or just, you know, reinvestment for development or whatever. And I'm just like, I haven't taken the salary. My business hasn't paid me. You know,
Right.
you know, whatever like owner draws or pulls that I do, it's just a reimbursement for the personal funds that I go to work for
Right.
to, you know, keep the business running that I sometimes take. Like, okay,
Right.
give me
Right.
the
Right.
500 back. Like, you know, but to
Right.
take a salary, like
Yeah.
cash flows in there, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's amazing because this is like one of the richest cities in the country,
Mhm.
you know, and we all have different varieties of, you know, businesses, but like, you know, for my particular business, like, you know, with it being a need-based, so many hospitals, so many doctor's offices, urgent cares, nursing homes, nursing schools, and I'm just like, and I'm connected to like all these people, and I have like super brand awareness. I'm rich in that, but cash flow,
Mm.
poor.
Mm.
I'm just like, you know, and everybody's like, oh, come to the supplier diversity program, DEI, this and that, da, 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 da. And I'm signing up, I'm doing it, I'm doing my due diligence.
Mhm.
And it's just like, okay, like I'm here,
Mhm.
you know, and a lot of people like, you know, want to use the face, and I get it.
Uh-huh.
I'm no fool, you know, but I'm gonna make it win-win for me because it's marketing, it's
Right. Yeah.
promotion or whatever. But it's like you're not sitting business my way, and you have the opportunity, like, you know,
Yeah.
you have the connections, you can make the intro, you can
Mhm.
make the suggestion to other members that's a part of your organization that requires the services that I provide for their staff,
Right.
but you don't.
Right.
And you don't have to. It's my responsibility to market and promote my business and grow it and all that. But it's just like San Francisco, one of the richest cities in the world, in the country.
You can say the word because America.
That's
So
true.
we talking rich in America, then we're talking about rich in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. It's so sad though, the barriers that have been in place and that are being structured and built up in place for us. It's like, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, okay, yeah, they're starting business. Okay, you know.
Mhm.
And now the powers that be making it so difficult. And like to your point about our conversation, like, yeah, it's seeming as if they don't want money to be put in our hands. So give them services, give them goods or whatever, and we'll pay for it. But guess what? The owners of the companies for those goods and services are not us.
Mhm.
So it's like we're using us to build up others
Mhm.
while
Right, right.
helping us, you know?
Right.
It's like I see it and I'm just like,
Mhm. Right. Like I see you.
I see it.
Uh-huh.
And they call me, oh, can you come to this? Can you come to that? Yeah, well, I'm not getting paid to be there, but I know that it's marketing, it's promotion, it's gonna help me create content.
Right, right.
But, you know, it's just, it's sad, you know, the state in 2023, the state in which we're still in.
Mhm.
You know, it's like you can't win for losing, right? Because
Right.
we're out there letting our kids run amok and the crime and this and that. So now we're pivoting, we're getting in business, we're starting nonprofits, businesses, organizations, something to create a generational wealth, and we won't
Right.
participate with that. We won't assist with that. However, you'll assist with others, these huge loans and or grants to open up stores, restaurants in our neighborhoods, to take out our dollars.
Mhm.
that we go out and get by whatever means.
Right.
And it's like, so we're losing on so many levels and ways, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so
It is.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi, hey, how are you?
Right.
Apologize for being super late.
Right. We understand.
You look nice. I feel so. Excuse my appearance. I would have put it on if I knew.
Right.
The wig, the heels.
Straight from the office. It was crazy because I moved and I started working in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Oakland now.
Yeah.
Oh, uh-huh.
So,
Where is that?
off of like West Oakland, off of that line.
Mhm.
So it's an organization called CROP.
Mhm.
CROP organization. It's a new. We're building a reentry campus. We actually got our first residents, and fellows started. They arrived on Monday, moved in all over California.
Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah. What's that?
How many people moved in?
So right now we have 6 that are on campus. One just got out a couple days ago.
Mhm.
The other one gets out on Monday, third, when it starts. And then there's 5 who are going to be commuting from other transition homes until their time is up at that transition home. Then I'm on campus. So our first cohort is small, thankfully.
Right. It's like, here's 50 people.
Yeah, well, that's what our capacity is. It's 50.
Yeah.
But it's just like literally building the plan as we're flying. Like
Right.
we're, I've been writing policies, and documents, and processes and procedures,
Uh-huh.
like just legalities, a whole bunch of stuff. Because I just started working there about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So it's been busy,
Uh-huh.
but exhilarating.
Nice.
Right.
Now, is that a reentry program or like a halfway
It's a
house?
reentry campus, so
Oh,
it's
Yeah. So when
yeah.
you said that word, I was like, I wonder if that's not just a house.
Yeah, no, so it's a holistic approach, right,
Okay.
to like all the different elements of reentry. So I'm actually preparing to hire like 2 social workers in my department and 2 reentry coordinators.
Mhm.
But our focus is helping people have vocational training in the tech, as tech careers.
Mm.
And so they're with us for a year.
Mhm.
While they're with us, they start out with our Ready for Life program. It's like professional development, some soft skills, just like really kind of preparation and transition from prison to back in the community. That's the first pillar. There's 4 pillars. Second pillar starts about 3 months in, and that lasts for 5 months, which is you have contractors that are coming in doing the instruction. Right now, they have 2 career paths. One is in UX design, and the other one is in tech sales. And so they'll be going through like a comprehensive 5-month curriculum during that period, that second pillar. And then during the third pillar here, we have an employment program that is connecting them with major partners like Kaiser and other major organizations, like tech industry, to get like industries foot in the door inside of these like tech careers and tech industries. So like whether it's paid internships or full on, just being able to full on permanent employment. And then in that 4th pillar, which is where we really start to focus, we focus on all of these things throughout, but where it gets really like hyper focus is the housing component. So
Right.
back in my department where we have our housing, permanent housing, and supportive assistance to help prepare them identify locations. And that way, as they're graduating with employment, able to go into housing. Ownership, we want to like guide them towards home ownership if that's what they're wanting the
Right.
whole time, but also some building credit, financial literacy, all those different elements starting from the beginning throughout the whole year.
Right.
I don't know if this applies, but I just recently posted a flyer about the housing authority waitlist, but it closed today at 5. So, that's something you want to spread to.
That's actually something for Pure One.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm still doing that as well.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But I was getting ready to leave my other job because I was like, okay, I'm either going full 100% into Pure One, or I might take this opportunity if I get this job with this other company because because it's also in alignment with my passion and allows me to do two things simultaneously.
Right, right.
And so, but either way, I was gonna leave my other job just because it wasn't my passion, the population.
Mhm.
And I wanted to like really focus on the real true focus, because of Pure One. And so as long as they're aligned, and that's this organization. It's a brand new organization, like, well, I can't say it's a brand new organization. We just recently were awarded a good amount of money to get this set up. And so we have two campuses. Well, we have one right now in Oakland, and, but we also have another cohort that just started 2 weeks ago in LA.
Wow.
So we're doing LA campus remotely, we're doing the on-site location here in Oakland. Just building it out.
So this helps you build your personal and professional development for Pier 1 biotech. So that is a win-win. That's a good one.
Absolutely.
And help build equity, yeah, because like you can learn the ins and outs and the what
From
not.
ground up.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, and that's why I decided, I was like, okay, I will take this one, I'm not gonna take anything else. I'm gonna be struggling if I just like quit my job completely,
Right,
but I was
right.
prepared for it.
Mhm.
But seeing this opportunity, yeah, there's a lot of value add. Like I was able to know that I can bring a lot of value to them and what they need to do to get started, because they were starting quick.
Right, right.
I actually saw the position that I applied for, posted back in November. I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm still, like, I don't want to spend myself too thin at that point. And then, I was like, okay, I'll wait. And then, well, I wasn't gonna apply. And then I know the ED, and some other people that were involved with when it was first being developed, and when they got awarded like 2025 back. Yeah, so they got a lot of money to set this up and build it out. And I was like, they're like struggling, I'm like, we need more people. And I was like, you know what, let me, like, you guys already got the funding. Let me go ahead and use my skills to help you guys. You guys are fully aware of what I'm doing with Pure One, make sure there's no conflict. And
That's good.
and they were like, yeah, this looks good. And so when I saw it reposted, I was like, let me just go ahead and put in an application. The ED, like, I can't be part of your interview because I'm already biased towards wanting to hire you.
Right.
You know, so I was like, that's cool. And so I went through the whole, three stages and and I was like, okay, I gotta make some moves quick because I don't want to keep driving back and forth across the bridge. So I found a spot like 2 minutes drive, 10-minute walk.
Nice.
Yeah, so once this weather
And that
clears up-
weather, oh, cool.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
Cool.
yeah,
Gonna get your steps in every day.
Uh-huh.
But also, before you leave or if you leave, get that grant writer's information. Because that's a huge pot for them to be awarded, especially considering that they're fairly new.
So, yeah, it was perfect timing with just all the things came into place.
Yeah.
They've been working on, because they started this program while they were still in Kentucky. I didn't realize how long they've been around. So they started this while they're there's a group of founders that started back in 2008. And they've been running programs. They started a program getting people like AOD certification, alcohol and drug counselor certifications while they were still in custody. Then they developed their Credit for Life program. But people have only really heard about them in the last, since about 2019, 20. Once they came out, all of them were getting released in 2019. They got a lot of pardons.
Interesting.
Yeah, like one of, Lisa Lane from CNN? She did like a big story on him. She's actually one of the board members. Actually, probably see it, if you see her. But they have a lot that they've been doing. But to your point, their policy director, yeah, she's such a great show.
Would the employment field of focus with Pier 1 be solely tech or other trades?
No.
Okay,
Pure One isn't, we are more of a resource hub
okay,
and a connector to build community support. a
Okay.
community support network. So it doesn't matter, and we're national, so that's something fortunate, I've been blessed to have like 3 interns right now. helping.
nice.
So we're building out our California base of service providers. But, but our next step is to like start, we already identified, start going into straight into other states.
Oh, nice.
And start so that people can access it from other states. This is, I think recently, I was at the ribbon cutting ceremony a couple.
Yes, that's definitely a familiar face.
Yeah, seeing that.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's a cool campus, great opportunity, has value both sides. But there's a lot of smart people and passionate people working their butt off to get it going. It's been crazy but fun.
Right.
And this is a campus.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
about that.
levels up.
Yeah.
Right.
It's setting the bar extremely high, like saying, hey, like instead of being like right in the heart of like Tenderloin,
yeah.
right, Geo, 111 Taylor, like we're walking out and it's like
Right.
triggers and everything.
Right.
Like no, like we're gonna set the bar high and we want you, this should be the lowest where you should start, and from everything from this point forward, should be up.
That's
They
what's
own
up.
campus?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
You said it's called CROP.
CROP, CROP, it's an acronym for creating restorative opportunities and programs.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so, like I say, I was like, you know what, get in on the ground, be able to help build it out, really build a network. And
Exactly.
the credibility on another scale as well with them as far as the community space, and be able to have a bigger impact, like, instead of like shrug.
Yeah.
We did get, I don't know, I think Pier 1 has we got a grant
Nice.
for at-risk youth.
Okay.
So we have an arts program for youth, and that's other things. That's why I'm like been so that's so busy.
Right.
Because I'm getting that going and then working on this though simultaneously.
Right.
But everything's coming together. But it's nice to see the fruits of your labor.
Right.
And start to come out and start to flourish. So it's always cool.
Yeah.
Inspirational because sometimes you're hammered my butt.
Well, congratulations on all them hats.
Yeah.
Right.
All those hats. But yeah, that's a blessing. But to your point too much too soon could, the opposite,
Yeah,
so like
it's
if
a
you
whole
would have got the whole like 50 people.
Yeah.
Right.
But oh, nice. So you're super busy. I hear that.
Yeah. But that's my apologies. It's not great. I try to always I missed a couple of meetings and I had to watch on. I was listening in as I was driving, but I didn't know the exit. But I was listening in when y'all were talking about like the taxis.
Oh, is this live? Oh, wait, still on Zoom? Okay, get it
So
together.
I was here, but I wasn't here physically.
Okay.
I was driving and trying to avoid crazy drivers out there in the rain.
Right. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I would be interested in following you guys as well. If we could be of any assistance.
You can. And I told them about the CPR, and we just had CPR training a couple days ago. They're like, oh, they're like, hey, we're gonna have CPR training coming up. I was like, do you guys already have somebody? Because I know somebody. And they were like,
Right.
yeah, we already got this person. They've already contacted them to come over. So we all got our CPR and
First thing,
first
AD,
aid.
yeah.
Yeah, certification just a couple of days ago. But as I said, there's always moving parts going on.
Yes. Always, yes. We are trying to keep everything together.
One thing I am looking for, I was hoping, like, Denzel had gotten back and then he didn't get back afterwards when I got on the
Really?
quote. There was, I'm looking for a facilitator. And I thought his program would be like perfect because of what they do and the artistic and the media, that all those would fit right in with the curriculum. But I don't know, I hope it's all right because I haven't heard back from him. I tried to reach out again to him and it was, it was personal schedules stuff.
Oh, right.
See anything back.
Really? It's a lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because I know when I was reaching out to them, it was pretty straightforward and simple. But I know, like, I honestly went out this weekend there was a retreat that they did, and so I was actually with him and them last weekend, and so, I could try my best to.
Yeah, definitely reach out. I don't think I have a direct number. I think I just have your email.
Okay.
And so I gave him an original quote before I finalized the contract.
Mhm.
And he's like, hey, because they might, we'll have to cross the bridge, because it is here in San Francisco, for that family grant. And, I'm like, so then once I was able to like restructure some things before we finalized the grant, I was able to like add additional things and make adjustments
Right,
to like increase the amount, so it'd be like a better fit,
right,
and then never got a response back. So,
right.
hopefully, so I put it out to a couple of people in Community Works West, just got back to me this morning actually. I'm like, yeah, we definitely interested, we just don't have that for the average at this point.
Right,
So I'm still looking
right.
for a potential facility. That's a light load. It's basically 2 days a week, and 4 to 6, so 4 hours a week. Roughly, this is how I'm kind of looking at structure, because it's for after school.
Right.
So 4 to 6, working with youth anywhere from 11 to 26 youth intake population. We have a curriculum. It's a workbook.
Okay.
And it deals with different things. It really focuses on like helping an individual become the author and the hero of their own life. Right. And so there's like storytelling, story writing components, art and therapy, mantra, vision board, goal setting
Right.
throughout this curriculum. It's a fast curriculum. It's there's 8 sessions, so it's 2 sessions a week, so it's only a month long.
Right.
And then there's a graduation each month, and so it ends up being about 20 hours. 20 hours a month. I think it's 20 hours a month. It's 4, 16. Yeah, 20 hours a month, and then 4 hours for the graduation.
Right.
For the role. I think we can pay. Don't quote me on this. I think it was like 29 an hour, plus transportation car. So like $50 transportation. Because I added that to make sure like if they're kind of open.
Yeah.
Covered up the part if they're going to take the part over. It's like 2 blocks, building 2 blocks. If you know any like good facilitators or people who like working with at-risk youth and take population, the curriculum's there. It's just I have a person who I helped. They developed it for adult population. I helped them like modify it for youth. And they'll be coming out to like do a 2-day training. So
Right.
you know, I was hoping to have somebody like MOU by now, so I can have her fly out, because she's in Texas, have her fly out, and by the end of this month, but end of this month or beginning of next month, we don't actually have to start until July.
Okay.
So we have a little bit of time, but if there's any like programs or organizations, this is one of the things I have interns looking at, is finding all the youth programs, so I can reach out and see if they have bandwidth and would be willing to like outsource one of their facilitators.
Right.
And that's why I was saying like his Denzel program, because of the way that it's modeled,
Yeah.
they have that already. People work through like a collaborative
Yeah.
group where people can bring those skill sets to it. But I just haven't heard back, so I'm gonna try to get as many fillers out as possible so I can.
Yeah.
Get
Let me
something
also, I will again touch base with him, but then also send you a couple of ideas too, because I know there's a guy that comes from what I went to school with, that's actually works with youth currently, and so I know that could be a space for him, and then also, I'm thinking about, you said other organizations that are working with youth, you know, EOIDC in Oakland, and they, want to have a huge facility, but they have a number of programs inside, and I know the executive director over there, and so that could be a space where we could, like I said.
That'd be helpful if they have somebody where they can like, I don't know, if they can either outsource them out or maybe they might know somebody who does like freelance work or
Right.
does this work. but maybe just not as full, like full business,
Right.
but is looking for like a contract.
Right.
It'd be, it's 18 months old, I think it'll only be like 15 months.
I'm sorry. Take a picture of that. I met this organization. It's called New York Ventures. And they work with TAY populations, our young adults, 16 to about 24, 26. And they give them paid internships that they pay. So they go out with the funding and assign them to different locations. So maybe you guys can like set up some type of funnel or collaboration with them for your participants and or, you know.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's the two things I've been looking at. So one is a facilitator to actually run the curriculum. And then, that's why I have the interns like find all those organizations because they fully integrated with the website. We want to connect our graduates with different organizations who, you know, like for example, Old School Cafe and other places where they can get connected into, work.
Right.
Opportunities.
Yeah.
To keep it going. So like
Yeah.
help you envision where you want to go, what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then connect you with those organizations that can help you continue on that journey.
And City Build, City Drive, you know,
And it's
connect them
more
to all
fellow,
of
we
those
also work with
opportunities. Because A, they get the training, and B, sometimes, you know, it's kind of a job placement at the end. So.
Amen.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. It's been a while since.
I know,
since it was,
right?
Project Homeless.
Yes, yes.
Out there, both hustling.
Right. I appreciate networking every day. And Terrence, you showed up and showed out with that RBT. Is this one of your designs?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. I like it. I like it. Look nice.
Yeah, I just did actually, with African American Focus Society, a couple weeks ago.
Did you invite us? You should have put it out in the
No.
group chat.
I saw them.
Yeah, you know what? So while I'm here, let me say that. Anytime any of us have anything going on, I think we should, either in an email or through Jermaine, but I think now that the cohort is kind of ended, I know he's still going to be there as a support system. Now that we have each other emails, maybe we can start like a group email, especially summertime coming up. So I know a lot of us have things planned, right? And I would like to support, you know, if my schedule and time permits, obviously. But just to keep that support system going, you know?
I agree. Because I did one with them, I also did one with all of
Okay.
us.
Okay, got some stuff.
Put me in a box.
Right.
Coming up out the box.
Okay, so now, see, I didn't know about the fashion stuff you did, because so that's not student nonprofit, right?
Well, that's what I'm gonna add to it. See, the designs come from learning upholstery.
Absolutely.
And then I was learning upholstery. My mentor always told me that you learn how to do card materials, that's the top sewing in the industry.
Absolutely.
So once you learn that, you can teach yourself everything else.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I always remembered and started playing with. The first thing I ever designed was a Bible cover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was a Bible cover.
Oh, okay.
You know, in clothes and all that, because when you do upholstery, you are a matter of maker. You have to, one of the things called was the car seat over there has nothing on it. You have to learn how to make your own pattern. And so when people see you design, they be like, how the hell you ever do it? And I'm like, I picked it up and doing upholstery.
Right.
From car material.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but I agree, we can start doing this thing. You know.
Yeah, I know I need to talk to Naya and Jermaine too, because I want to set up some sort of, first of all, I need headshots. And I need to set up.
She was just talking about it
I need to set up a photo
She
shoot.
said, I got everything else but a headshot.
If you guys do something, let me know, because I need one too.
Well, maybe
Yes, we all need a headshot.
Well, maybe we can get Miss Naya and set up a group,
Yeah, see what her
headshot.
rate is
Yeah.
and bring her in for like an hour or two.
Let's do that.
And then maybe.
I got a white wall, that's what I use on all my stuff,
Oh,
the same
see?
thing, and they say, can you send a headshot photo? I'm like, I literally took this in front of a white wall, and my girl took a picture.
With your phone.
That's it.
How did it come out? Was the clarity
I
okay?
mean, it's.
Because that's an iPhone.
It works.
Because that's an
I have it on
iPhone, right?
everything.
Because you know they say with these iPhones, you can do an actual photo shoot. You
Well,
just gotta play with all
But they
that stuff.
got those iPhones with like, I got the cheap iPhone. They got
Okay.
the ones with like 3 or 4 cameras. and all
Yeah, and you
that.
can really, I see, so I was Googling it on YouTube, and they really did some nice photo shoots. I'm like, I just gotta, but I would rather do, you know, traditional way.
So that had a good, some kind of good background.
Well, we would like to see, can we propose, can YCD sponsor
That's it.
us to use this conference room? And, hi, good to see you. Good to see you. And, Anaya's services for 3-4
Hi, how
hours
are you?
as our, party package.
You guys.
Cause I wanna do a corporate look photo shoot with the chairs and the table.
Right. Yeah, I've been looking at all these other people.
I know,
They've been asking me for my bio and my photo for like the whole time I've been there, a month almost. I started on the 1st, so yeah, a month. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm so busy, I can't even send you, like, I
Yes.
got a bio already.
Yes,
but-
the person doing my website, she's like, do you have a headshot? And I'm like, give me a week or two.
Right. Cool. Well, honestly, definitely want you guys to have things like that, and just kind of piggybacking off of what Nick was saying, of just staying in touch. I think that could be not only set up, but something that again will benefit everybody, and then two, other opportunities too. Because honestly, I'm not sure how it is with the folks from the last cohort. If they still need stuff, would they be able to have ones if they wanted them? So we could definitely. Set something, yeah, so like, come on, y'all, let's knock this out, have y'all send it in, send us some pictures.
If you guys don't have anything to do tomorrow, we have a business meeting.
Right, yeah, I shared that with them last
And the
week.
folks from the last cohort. Bring everybody
Yeah.
together. You can do a little shout out.
What time is it?
Mhm.
It's from 4:30 till 7. Thursday, yeah. It's at Harmonic Brewery, right in the Doghouse Brewery. So basically what we do quarterly is like literally engage our donors and CBO partners, and we go kick it, happy hour, free beer on us, free pizza. It's just a mix and mingle session so people can see one another. We're emailing each other all the time, but we don't actually get out, break bread and have libations. So that's what's going on.
Yeah. So yeah, I know I sent it in both the Facebook group and then in the Instagram chat.
That's probably why said.
I know.
Terrible on social media. Like, actually, I got one of your guys, he's getting like, as one of the interns, he's gonna be helping Keontae with social media. So that's the next, like, I've been working with certain things, but like the next phase, we just started on Saturday, was like prepping like Canva and MailChimp to get them on the social media, like, focus. So.
That's it.
Yeah.
We got a whole
Because I
marketing
don't do
team.
it.
We got a whole marketing team. You never touched anything.
Yeah.
You guys do it.
That's why I need help.
Yeah, I still don't tell you. I'll just repost your shopping.
Right. I'll take
Exactly, I
credit
can
for Jermaine.
repost.
Okay, because if anything I learned from him, it's marketing, and you can kind of turn anything, almost anything, into content. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, let me get these, because that's my first reel I ever did for my nonprofit and my business page. So I'm like, all right, Jermaine, you know.
So
Yeah.
how did you feel about it? I kind of want to ask everybody, because it was very tough for me, I've been doing this for 17 years, to create content and highlight the work that we're doing, knowing that I work with individuals. It's been very, that's my challenge. My challenge is like this, it's like, we're celebrating together, but I just want to give back the knowledge and wisdom versus taking a picture and posting so people can see what we're doing, but if people don't see that you're doing it, you can't get funding for it to continue to do it. So like, that was my whole conundrum, so, we hired some folks, but I still know I need to do better. It was a struggle for me, so I wonder how it's.
I think for me, well, two things I want to touch on too. So I don't know, maybe for the next cohort, and if funding permits, and if you guys don't get funded for this, I think you guys need to branch out there and try to get it, because I know for me, when we talk about marketing and outreach and things like that, my website is a mess. So like, I can go after these grants, but when they go to that website, then you might miss out on money, funding, and grants. So that's just something for you guys, because I see it say participants' thoughts. So back to what you were saying, I finally have photo release and consent forms. So individuals who want to be on, whether it's a workshop or things like that, like I need you to fill this out and I keep it in our files. But when we're doing, because we work a lot with Post Check 101 as well. So when we do our community feeds, we think like, okay, we need to show that we're out here, right? We're doing the work, but we don't want to put, the unhoused or people experiencing substance abuse on camera film or whatever. So it's like, how do we? So I was like, in that sense, it was very hard. But you know what I thought? We're gonna take a picture or video of the place, or us with the bags, or until we can
Yeah,
kind of
other
still get that down and tag our location or something like that. So far, so it's very good that you brought that up because I'm still struggling with that. But what I learned from Jermaine was, I'm like, okay, so we're gonna make this into a reel. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, my hair is not perfect, I'm not looking right to be on, but you can take something else and make it content or material. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
And Jermaine laid the foundation for that, because I literally was going to my nephew's basketball ceremony at the Baby Y, and my field is CPR, and I walk in, I see this AED sign and the AED, and I was like, this is content. Like, it's not a class I'm hosting or training, but it feeds into my field. So I got my content, and I was actually having back and forth with the staff there, and they were like, and it's charged, we just charged. I was like, thank you for that, because then I was going into this conversation with them about how, someone passed away because the AED wasn't charged. So it was like this educational experience. However, to that point, I was like, everything. So and it was just a simple picture, and it just sparked education, conversation, and she's like, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm post checking. My flyers was already on there, on this table. I'm like, that's me right there. And so it just now there's a relationship, with that particular person. So like that foundation of like really understanding the importance of taking a snapshot or capturing what you do so that you can tell the world it's key, it's vital. And for me too, like the up and down, I'm like, okay, well, these people paid for their class. This is their private class. I don't want to intrude and kind of like get pictures or videos unless I see them start doing it. Then I'll ask them, do you guys mind if I get you on my social media too? They're like, yeah. But it is kind of hard, without like this big marketing team behind you to really capture what you do so that you can market it to get others to get on board. What I'm finding is like, okay, so I've done some big organizations, like maybe on my website I can say something like past clients or client, our superstar clients, and put like City ENT or KIPP Charter School and like all the people I've done business with, as a different way to kind of speak to like, this is, the type of clients that we've done business with, but it is kind of hard to find a balance with it.
Yeah, and it makes me think too, when we brought in Candace, she was saying that she was having that very issue, and that she would just ask the clients, if she's out there on the streets, would you mind? And the response actually was, I would love for people to know my story, why I'm out here, because the assumptions that are roaming around, right, flying around, oh man, you just don't care, you're throwing your life away, I'm sure you're on drugs, alcohol, and it's like, no, like people wanted people to know, like, this is why, I'm homeless at the moment, but, so they were pleased to be on the camera, pleased to be able to share their story rather than being super hesitant.
I think you always like same concern. I was worried, like you don't want to exploit, but then you're only looking at their perspective.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, let me see what this individual is doing.
Yeah.
You might find out some different. My thing is, I think I'm just always so busy, like I just forget, and then all of a sudden, like it's over. I'm like, oh shoot! I'm like, wait, can somebody take a picture? Everybody's gone. Like,
Right.
3 minutes today. Yep.
That part. Yeah. But yeah, even with yourself, I know again the fashion show, like again, it's always about trying to find the opportunities, but again, sometimes it's gonna be being with somebody that can take it for you because you're so, like you said, you're so focused and you're so into what's happening that you just forget to take the pictures and get the video.
Well, I did have it because when Jermaine trained me how to do my first reel. Fuck, I
I don't even know how to do a real, by the way.
I told him I got off of Instagram and all that because of the rip-off artists that's on the block, And he was like, you gotta get back out there, you gotta start posting and stuff. And so when you show me how to post the Warriors that I designed, I had my daughter, when I did the fashion show, she was taking all the pictures that she was posting on Instagram and all that. And I said, well, post it, and I had to start getting out there. And she posted it, it's 1,000 followers. well, 1,000 liked, and then I started getting people writing in like, where's the store? Where are you located? Where's this?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, and so I started directing them to my Facebook page and stuff like that. Got a few orders, but a lot of people like, when you doing your next fashion show? So that's what I want to go on my own, so.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys also put on your calendars, April 25th. April 25th from 6 to 9. We're doing a showcase event for our workforce side of YCD House at 1550 Evans.
Okay.
It'll be another opportunity to highlight you guys, locals,
Okay.
but like everything we do around workforce for the last 50 years, we'll showcase highlights of yearly food, libations, bring a live band out there.
Okay.
Show the work
Right.
that we've been doing for the last couple of years, because for us, it's our 50-year anniversary.
Okay.
So we're gonna have,
Celebration time.
exactly, so we have 3 small events leading up to the gala, which we have at the end of the year. So
Okay.
make sure you guys get invited to that. We don't have dates for the other 2 smaller events, but make sure those.
So 2 things I have thoughts about. So maybe if Naya as well can, well, I guess I can create a group chat or email. But if Naya can just put her prices in there, so when we all do have events, we'll have a videographer and a photographer on hand. And we'd rather pay our people, I'm just say it. And 2, as far as workforce development, do you guys have an actual like live scan background fingerprint provider you guys go through? Or you send individuals out?
So we did have one, but I think we lost him during COVID.
Okay.
It was this gentleman who had a space downtown San Francisco. I can find out though. We just have to.
No, because I do that.
Oh, you do?
So, yeah, it took me almost a year
Right.
to get certified.
You should let me know with that.
Yeah, like I wheel you in a little bit. So we're waiting on our devices. We actually have a shared space on Mission Street. So individuals can come to our office and or we'll be mobile as well. So I just wanted to mention that to you. I think I mentioned it to you before, but it wasn't live scan background and fingerprint.
And we have to do that for, especially our youth development.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's what I was just about to say, because I do need that for
And summer's
the
coming
youth
up. I
program.
know a lot of people with my age and
Anybody who works on
Our
it.
site, we hire like 30 people.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the
I'm
summertime.
definitely.
Everybody.
gonna let you guys know. And that's just
Just
one
give us
side
that
of our
information
community.
to Jermaine.
I sure will.
We'll correct you.
Yeah, definitely me too. So also not only the reentry focus, but also our youth program, anybody who has any kind of connections, like we're required to have them do a DOJ license.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
Perfect. And then also just I think we should also hit up some workforce development companies as well, because whenever they can have especially Mission Hiring Hall, anyone that does any type of
In-home support services. I spoke to
that's what
someone.
I say, just any kind of in-home support services or security,
Absolutely.
all that needs that background checks is definitely it's good. How continuous business.
Absolutely.
What you said April 25th, what was the title, what was the
6 to 9.
time?
It's a workforce showcase. 6 to 9, 15, 15 minutes.
And we'll be there.
Workforce showcase, 6 to 9? That's actually an easier time for you.
There.
Me, yeah, now that I'm on the other side of the bridge. Hoping to make this other one, I'm gonna go to you again.
Share with me, what was your biggest hurdle or challenge with being in the cohort? This setting session, where's the meeting you might be able to improve on?
Yeah.
I think for me, just my ideas, just having someone help with nonprofits, website designs.
Yep.
And also when we meet in person, maybe, like I said, again, if funding allow, maybe one of the in-person meetings can be, okay, on workshop 3, we're going to talk about marketing. And also come dressed, for success, because we're going to have on-site headshots after the speaker. This is just me. I'm thinking of everything as a startup nonprofit. These are the hurdles that I'm still facing. So website, headshots, I think that was just my biggest hurdles. I think that the in-person classes were easy to get to. Jermaine was awesome, Naya was awesome. I learned a lot in this cohort. The times that I did come in person, obviously I was there in spirit and on Zoom. And I just want to say thank you guys for this cohort and this opportunity. And we definitely gonna shout you guys out.
For sure. Well, I think one of the things that we can commit to now, post-graduation, is we can still do headshots.
Okay.
Let's work with Christina and our marketing team to make the shot.
Word. And then also, so I know we spoke about it a few weeks ago. I mean, you could share too. She was talking about the importance of, I was acknowledging the competition that we have in San Francisco with the other, not only nonprofits, but even businesses that are not only offering technical assistance and capacity building, but have like these incentives too, right at the end, like stipends.
Yeah,
You know, so, you know, you finish the 12 weeks or whatever, and then it's like, this check is also here available. So if you could shed a little light on what you were sharing.
Yeah, so I was mentioning that, you know, some of the programs have like an incentive base built in, right? And not necessarily as an allure to join, but as a supplement so that you're not still, you know, dogging yourself out at the 9 to 5 or the second job in the OT. So like there was like a monthly stipend of like $1,500 or $2,000 or something that kind of relieved the person from having to be at work as much as they're usually, and to give that time to focus on the curriculum, do the work. In addition to that, there was like programs to where they paid 1 year QuickBooks fees for the businesses. They paid for a photo shoot, found a local based, hopefully Black owned, photographer, videographer, and they went 50-50 with you on the video, on the photo shoot. It was just things that was helping to build up the base and the foundation of your business, in addition to kind of relieve some of your stress to really focus on it and hone in on it more. And I know that sometimes with the change of everything that's going on regarding DKI and stuff, that, you know, there may be a resistance to put money in our hands versus supply us with the TA. You know, but in some cases, all of the TA assistance is not us, it's not our businesses, it's not our organizations. So if we can kind of like focus on that and say, okay, we know businesses need in marketing, flyers, you know, maybe give us a gift card to Vistaprint or some type of printing agency to get us flyers and business cards. Then we need marketing. So we get a NIA, we get headshots, we get content for websites to share flyers. Like I go on Fiverr and I pay people to write up creative stuff and or, you know, find email lists or put together my mission statement, yada, yada. Thankfully, I did just join this program and I was accepted into it because I'm with the San Diego Black Chamber of Commerce, and they have this partnership, which I like this, with the university out there, and I think you guys could potentially do it too. So this one's called San Marcos something, and it's the seniors graduating from college in marketing, business development, all types of things that support business, and they're helping small businesses either for free and or reduced cost. I didn't get in for free, so I have to pay $750, but they are amazing.
Yeah.
All of the flyers and the marketing assets that they're giving me. In addition to that, I'm with the San Francisco African Chamber, and we had a meeting at the Cal location here in the city, somewhere downtown. And they mentioned to us that as long as you're certified as an SB, small business, you can utilize their interns for free. They'll pay them and give them credit for the work that they will help you do with your business. I feel like connections like that to small businesses is what we need, because it's like we also have to learn to work in the business, on the business, but then also to delegate within the business. So if we can have assistance, and even like I think it was you about a social media manager or something like, right? We got these young kids. And if maybe they went through the New Door Ventures, or if YCD has a program to where we're hiring kids to do social media managing or whatever for our businesses. So they win, we win. The organization
We're
wins.
doing that right now. Yeah.
Sorry for
No,
that.
that's great. That's exactly
everything
what
that I was.
That was exactly what's needed, and I was
Yeah.
so grateful that we were able to get content.
Yeah, I think when we talked about marketing, that was the connection that was made, and they were like, oh yeah, we could. And yeah, I remember you on there like, oh cool, I didn't know I could get a little opportunity.
Oh, okay.
And so it builds their skills,
Yes.
but also in their like entry into the workforce, while also helping like the cohort, fellow participants.
Yeah. And honestly, you guys are, I don't want to step on any toes, but think you guys can even make that into a cohort, right? Like if you have young kids who are looking to go into marketing or tech or computer type
That
stuff,
would give
to
them-
put together a cohort,
Mhm.
and then you can utilize your alumni, right? What do you guys need? Da, 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 da. Place us together. We can meet via Zoom. We don't have to be with the babies in person. Tell them our needs. They work on it. We meet via Zoom again. They show us the results, or because that's basically what I'm doing with the San Marcos group of seniors down there at their college. We just meet on Zoom. I tell them, you know, the keywords, the industry, what I'm looking for. They put it together. They do their magic because that's their area, right? That's where their professionals at. And then it's just win-win. And it takes so much off of me having to like go and poster my wall and create a flyer. And it's just like, it looks so tacky. It's like my head is, you know, that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah,
I definitely know what you mean.
yeah, no, that's really good feedback. I like the way that you're thinking. That's always my conversation. Even when I go in with a funder, it's never necessarily about resources monetarily in terms of money. Because, you know, people get hesitant or wonder where the return on investment is. So if you come in saying, well, I just need your knowledge around this area of expertise or into like getting creative with things that you know that you need in order to grow and expand versus sometimes asking for money. Even though we could do money, I think getting some sort of incentive for this would be great. Just because, you know, I got to compensate people for their time, especially nowadays. You got folks coming from across the bridge, weather, and it does take a lot of time. I'm in fellowships where I get, you know, an honorarium, you know, for being in it. So it's definitely something that we could that we could do. Might even really do it for both. Maybe we'll think about something to bring everybody back. Sort of, incentive.
Yeah, I was letting her know that, you know, with the new, this budget ends in July, but once that next year begins, we can do a whole kind of rediscussion over like how can we allocate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let's sit down and just talk about the budget. I mean, there might be some other funds. Like now, and I didn't have to wait. It's still small. Group.
Yeah.
Build that, they get it through this.
Yeah.
So I think the hardest thing for me was just the time factor, just because I had a lot on my plate going on, a lot of moving parts. And so, as you said, it was easy to get here, especially because I'm in both places right, well, I've been in Oakland most of this last month, but I still have my place in San Francisco, for another month or so. But so then I was like, just easy to get over here as far as like catching an Uber or something like that. But it was a little bit difficult just because of the timing. Like I had a bunch of stuff and commitments. But I already knew that kind of going in.
Yep.
Just some things that changed midway in.
Right,
The
exactly.
cohort is longer,
Yep.
right? And so there was some decisions that were made like in the last month of this cohort where it was challenging. So I started having to do some Zoom. The last couple months I prefer to be in person. But it was just, there was no physical way. And like even today, like, I'm like, I don't care. I told everybody I said, I'm going. It's the last day. Like we got all kinds of like things going on, but I had to leave. And that's what I was saying. I probably want to be for a few hours. I'm gonna make it one way or another. I'm gonna make it today.
Yeah.
But that was the only challenging thing for me. Was just that. But definitely got a lot of value add out of this cohort. A lot of validation and verification on certain things known. A lot of new things learned. Was able some of those connections. That's why I'm still hoping that
And Denzel.
Denzel will work out, because that would be a huge lifesaver to get a facilitator for this cohort, because we got a youth program grant.
Okay.
And so we're looking, because I took another job, I'm looking to outsource the facilitator role.
Gotcha.
And so looking to sign an MOU with an organization that has some facilitators that they can outsource for a couple hours a week, 2 days a week, 4 hours, 2 hours each day. But a lot of, Keontae coming on, that's been extremely helpful. It's just a pleasure, like working, with him and working with somebody. We got 2 other interns from San Francisco State.
Good.
So getting those pieces and the delegation components, and finding like some good partners, like we're getting to be in a really good place to grow now. You know, with this first grant now, we can start to leverage it for other things, so. A lot of help, and then even just like looking back, I hope you bought our books, I don't know if you did, I was gonna tell you and I forgot.
Oh, yeah, no.
Cause I never had the hard copy of the book. But there was a lot of good material in there that I wanted to get back and go back over, like, even though, like, I've been like super swamped, and this last month, I wanted to be able to kind of go back through some of that, the why, those different areas, just to kind of like refocus and get back to, okay, this is what I need to go back on. Because I was so busy, I was going through the materials, but sometimes I didn't have a chance to stop and pause, except for the one assignment, I was like a few days late on it, but it was the one from Ms. Newton. Like, that was a good exercise that made me like really start to think about certain elements that helped solidify and made it more concrete. So that's a lot of like just a couple of descriptions or examples of the value add. The one thing I definitely would have liked would have been, I think it would add a tremendous value, was what Ms. Newton was wanting to do. Just didn't have the ability to do this cohort, but that, I think, being able to like have that opportunity, that pitch, yeah, I think that would really give, especially if you can incorporate that into not just a pitch. I know it's a friend's name.
Thibodeau.
Yeah. Was saying, you know, she was really heavily emphasizing on that they're gonna have some skin in the game, some actual financial investment into it. If that was baked into part of the cohort, I think that's a huge incentivize that would be for me. Like, if I knew like there was gonna be 5 philanthropists or something that had like some micro grants or something, like a 10, first place, second place, third place, a 10, a 5, and a 3 or something, right? Micro grant that they could already put up front, and then everybody can like do their pitch and do their thing. That would be a huge incentive.
Yeah.
Let's set up, because that was actually a part of my fellowship that I had. Let's also make sure for moving forward, we set up at least 1 or 2 lunches with potential funders. So philanthropy, corporation.
That's super helpful, because even if it's not a direct,
Yeah.
they may know somebody who's like.
And that's what it's all about, the referrals, because we've been able to do it in a very roundabout way, because even with the first cohort, I think we ended up we did an event at the warehouse. I don't remember what event it was, but then Mike and folks got to come out, and we had some funders that were there from Crane Star Foundation and a few others. We just put them out there, like, go talk to them.
Right.
So I think, we could be a lot more intentional about it. That would be pretty easy lift. Just do like a 2-3 hour lunch.
And it was actually really fortunate too, because that was like really the first week of the first cohort. And so the other part, kind of similar situation, is like they didn't know. And so the funders, they come through looking all nice. They were like, oh, shoot, oh, man. She had like a sweater on,
Well, we really asking for money though, right? Like, I need to get, I'm doing this in the community. It's like, we got to work on, we got to be able to ask for that. Not only you got to be able to tell your story, one, you got to know how to ask for, sometimes you can ask for other things, right? It's not always necessarily about funds. That might not be what you need. Because what happens with some of our organizations is folks get the money, but they don't know how to do it.
Right.
People just keep it a buck, so. So that would be easy. I know some folks that would love to sit down with us, even like do it all from America. Yes, she worked for Twitter for good.
Even afterwards, I think, after this course, like if you will have like a luncheon, I definitely would love to go.
For sure. Well, that's what tomorrow's gonna be about. Like there's gonna be funders in there tomorrow, for sure. Okay. Like folks from the city that give us government grants, a couple of folks from philanthropy, cruise automation. Like
that's one of the things is starting that relationship and having built that relationship, because that's where it all begins.
Yep.
So having the opportunity to do that.
Yep.
Is huge. And what time is it tomorrow? 4:30 to what?
4:30 to 7.
That would be another great build-in as well, right? Like giving the nonprofits access to grant writers and those grant writers kind of helping them seek out the grants versus going after the standard city grants that 300 other organizations is fighting for. Because there's I found this philanthropy website where they have all types of grants from private donors, foundations, not just DKI or City Money, you know,
Yeah,
like there's
exactly.
other funders out there. You just have to know how to access them, you know?
Right.
So I think that would be good for the nonprofits as well going forward.
Yeah. And so what I also looked at in mind, one of my friends I went to school with, he's on the side of the grants where he's one of the people that helps create the grants. So it's rather than looking for money, he's one of the people who creates the grant so that when money comes in, it goes to people who you know, fit into the right categories. But all that to say is, I definitely wanted him to come and, you know, give some thoughts on like the best ways to get grants and so forth. But for instance, he'll most likely have to speak in the next cohort. But if we can have it to where you guys are still invited to things and we're still, you know, if not anything, at least virtually, you guys can still see, you know, get the information, get the contact information and stuff like that. Definitely don't want you guys, you know, people to feel like kind of out of the loop since it wasn't during their cohort. The same thing with the folks from the last cohort, to be like, oh, like you guys got this information, you know, make sure that they have access to the information that you guys get to.
As far as, course, have y'all ever put anything together, teaching the CBOs how to go out as far as building? See, that's a barrier now. Building space. See, like with my background, I'm a furniture, automotive, upholstery. We learned how to design his own products. And like what you was talking about with the janitorial, I'm gonna do the same thing with the automotive, furniture, set up different departments, and it just, even with CBOs, I met a brother in Oakland, and they do cohorts, and then they went out and got most of the people that did it, they went out and found the buildings, and they put them all in, you know, and they got the grants put together by the writers, and they share the space.
I thought about that, like 6 or 7 years ago. I didn't think about it. We were going after a building in Brisbane. That was like a huge, like 8,000 square feet. And we were gonna do that, but it was in the cannabis industry though. We're working with people, not the actual cannabis, but like the label maker, the people making the bottles. And we were looking at doing that, but it just didn't fall through because it wasn't the incentive system. But I've always wanted to do that as an organization. And also really not kind of our lane, but like San Francisco Black Wall Street might be a good space, you know, for that. And I think even doing that, I think we should do a better job of making sure that we leave you guys with additional folks to also speak with and talk to.
Yeah.
San Francisco Black Wall Street also has another program where you do, I think you get like $5,000 to $10,000 to like start up their businesses. It's more around entrepreneurship. And then as you and I were talking too, I think with a lot of folks, when I come in and immediately try to help folks understand, and doing this for the last couple of years, is that it's interesting because the rhetoric and for tax liability purposes, you know, we're nonprofits, we're 501c3, that's the language we use, but it's still a business. You gotta have departments within your business to make sure that you can grow and sustain yourself, right? And things that we don't think about, like marketing. Most community-based organizations don't have marketing departments, or even HR departments. Make sure your ass don't get sued, and you aren't spending your time as an ED having to go out and hire folks. Having an IT department so you're not spending time trying to figure out which laptop I'm supposed to get. How do I upload this software and put it on here? How do I get a cell phone for this person? Right? Like your firewall and security, like it's crazy. And you know, like I said, the marketing department, I don't want to spend my time. I know me and my own bias and my personality. Because if I'm on my phone, I'm probably not paying attention. So I know I can't be on my device because it gets me distracted, and I'm a very interpersonal person. I like to be here. So I have to have somebody that's capturing all those things, right? So anyway, I went down the rabbit hole. But I think those are the things we can do. Connect you guys like San Francisco Black Wall Street, some of the other CEOs that can continue to uplift the work that you guys are doing. So we can also.
Yeah. So I mean, thinking just like you just mentioned, resources, even like a list of resources, folks that you can connect with, but also like you were mentioning, one of my thoughts was like you're having the mix of maybe one per month or two throughout the 4 months in which people, not only this group, but other folks can be invited to just connect and you could, again, have those opportunities to have those in-person introductions versus kind of like, hey, hey, can you just call them and like, hopefully they'll like call you back, you know, it's like, no, like we were all at that one spot, we had a good time, I met you, you know, something like that, where when people are getting together, they're having that opportunity, not only for making those connections, but even what we talked about earlier, having the content of like, you know, like having a business is not just a matter of the day-to-day stuff, but it is making connections, building relationships, hanging out with other folks who are starting businesses and stuff too.
And then real quick, since we keep talking about, can we get a photo? I'm gonna have to run, I got a 12:30 that I'm late for, and then and then one of the other things, right, we got audit going on right now, make sure you get your shit out of it. So,
And nonprofit insurance too. I have
That's all
that.
kinds of, I got like $3 million worth of insurance. There's all types of stuff nobody tells you, right?
Right.
And, yeah, but we have a city audit going on today at 1 o'clock.
So I'm thinking, yeah, we're good, you know. Right.
I was like, you dress up. I was
I gotta put on my knee right
You know, but.
Right.
So yeah, she has
Should we
the,
hold our hands?
yeah.
Bobby Combs.
Oh.
Yeah, you got your home.
All of the Jones related.
Right, exactly. I was thinking that when I was writing. I was like, wow, they all knew each other. Okay, cool.
All right, I'm gonna count down from 3. Everyone ready? Count down. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
And like I said, that's just the beginning, right? That's the easy part, going through this. Now it's, now it's the grind. Yeah, this is where it starts. So any help, service that I can do for you guys, I'm always here as well too. It's just always good to have conversations. What I've learned in being an ED is, you know, the last fellowship that I had at least, it was great to be amongst other folks that were either starting, 501c3 or have been doing it for a few years. Because you start thinking crazy. You start thinking about all these things, programs, like outsource facilitator, and you're like, oh, other people have done it. Okay, cool. Right? It's like, okay, I'm not crazy. And how did you go about doing it? Okay, I'm thinking the right way, or I'm thinking the wrong way. Not even the wrong way. I didn't even think about that. I didn't know that could be a resource to me. So I'm always here as a resource. I know we all run around and, you know, we're all relatively busy. However, you know, we make time for things that matter. I want you guys to know that you guys matter, your organizations matter to us. As another organization. So, your religion. Sounds like good things are happening. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. So, yeah, so also we got this food. It's good food. It's from Tacos. So we have some enchiladas and rice and beans. There's also a dessert as well, as well as chips and salsa. So I did want us to partake in that. But yeah, we could take some individuals if y'all are down for that.
And I want to take some.
Yeah, these are some
Baby,
dope,
sacrifices.
Right. She said all day.
You know what I was thinking though?
Oh, okay. And
That's right.
I heard this from Jermaine.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
Yeah, all that.
And I'm gonna-
That's a- I got pictures. Oh, actually, I'll get her. And, oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Now you're making me want, I need to go to get some content too. Let me go take some pictures.
All the cheese.
Yeah, y'all need me to take some? Come on,
Yeah.
you guys, you got to post on social media.
I'm having super bad reception in here. It's
I know, I'm not
I'm
getting
trying
my
to send
phone.
a thing for like one text message. I'm trying to send it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think, yes. And there.
Yeah.
I can. Absolutely, we understand. We can sacrifice.
I'm gonna eat, because I'm not taking pictures, I'm not picture ready.
It's
So
not-
there's that, whatever picture I do, see, I'm a crop myself.
Yeah.
From the bottom down.
It's the top got that's some dark cheese.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like on the design, is how the cheese is such a.
And these are nice. I just want to mention to you. It was good. Right here.
Executive.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Type it in.
So if I could just throw this in the how we do get our headshots, I would love it. I love this background. I want to.
Yeah. Can I grab a picture too? Grab a,
This big corporate table and chairs.
and I want to grab a couple of pictures of each of you.
You want me to do it?
I'm trying to see.
Take your pictures.
One, yeah. Let's see. I'm like, where's this clean?
Ready? Got your.
Yes, I'm definitely want to, once we get our equipment and devices, I'll keep you updated with the lifespan.
Yeah, that would be a good thing for.
It
Sounded like.
Hey, Jermaine.
Okay.
We'll grab a picture with you real quick.
Like, that's scary looking at all this water and it's raining. It's
Maybe have
literally
to
right
add,
there.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. I was gonna say have the bag hold the blues to the side, but move the table.
Yeah, that's a good
What
one.
should we do? Coach, come on, coach.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Can I get one with y'all too? With everybody? I would like it in front. I love that picture there, but
I know, it's just in the corner.
yes, that's the thing. It's like that one, but this was the awesome one too. I like both of these, but I guess right here as well.
Okay.
You know, I wait for them to take it though. One more.
Come on.
Yeah, well, everybody.
All right, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 sets. 3, 2, 1. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Those are from the comment back.
Right. Of course. So it's gonna be
Got execution like that.
And it's okay to take some of these balloons, I just want to take these in my bag.
Yeah, take some balloons. What's the big gonna do
But
that?
I don't think this is the bag was all good.
Yeah, that's why I'm close my certificate,
Right.
not me.
Everyone ready? Countdown starting. 3, 2, 1. Countdown starting. 3, 2.
Oh, I got it.
Is there a restroom in here or is it somewhere in the hallways?
Yeah, down the hallway.
Right.
Yeah, I think one of those leads.
Yeah, just hold. Just hold right there.
It's gonna show it in the stream. Cause I was just gonna hide it from there like this.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had to go to some good. Came, so yeah, we got drinks. That's I deserve from last week.
Okay, so we just gonna do it, not sure.
Yeah.
So I told him it's probably gonna be at the end of the hall. So I would say, don't go over here where the elevators are, but just keep going
So put
straight.
it right there.
And then we'll set to be somewhere over there.
Because it was a nine. I just did 3 more. Right here, you go, Tasha. Jam. Improvise. Just take it home like this.
All right. And so we do have jackets in there for you all.
Oh, really?
And the question is just around around the sizes. So we do have XL, large, double X, and triple X. Just depending on what you guys have. And so I also have a couple of backups if we run out of a certain size too. If you can turn it up.
These are nice, positive affirmations to look at throughout the
I
day.
know, right?
Are you guys here at this location a lot or?
No, so there's a couple of apartments that have other rooms. But in terms of myself, no, like I only can come here when there's something necessary to be done over here.
Got it.
Yeah.
What size is that one?
Okay, hold on.
You see, I'm trying out.
This is cute.
I didn't see it. Oh, that's good. Oh.
Yeah, I think that should be